The movie commences on Halloween night. Halloween is a festival during which people dress up in various costumes and masks and roam around. One evening, a boy named Corey was asked to babysit a child. The child's parents explained everything to Corey before they left for a party. Corey sat down with the child and they started watching a horror movie and talks to him very nicely. But he was a naughty and ill-mannered child. That's why he talks to him in a very strange way. He also tells him that the killer Michael will come here and kill you. After some time, when Corey comes back from the kitchen, the child had disappeared somewhere. After searching for the child for a long time, he finally goes upstairs, where suddenly someone closes the door of the stairs. Actually, it was no one else, but the child who was joking with Corey. He tells the child to open the door, but he doesn't open it. Now Corey was angry. That's why he kicks and breaks the door. Now, the child was standing right behind the door. Because of being hit by the door, he falls down from the stairs. At the same time, the child's parents also came back. They witness all this with their own eyes. The child bleeds excessively. That's why he dies on the spot. Here, the child's parents think that Corey deliberately pushed and killed his son. That's why they immediately call the police. Then, on the charges of murder, the police arrest him and take him away. Although he tells everyone that he didn't kill the child. It was just an accident, but no one listens to him. The story from 3 years later is then shown to us after that, where now we are told that a crazy killer, whose name was Michael, he had escaped from jail 4 years ago. He had created havoc in a city and killed many people. Michael used to kill people for this reason, because his mental balance was not good at all, and he was not good looking by appearance. That's why he always used to wear a mask. That's why he got fed up with all the circumstances and used to kill everyone. And this is the same killer about whom the child had also told Corey. The people who were killed by Michael include the daughter of a woman named Laurie. Now, after that day, no one has seen Michael. But after 4 years, Michael's terror in this city has spread even today. Now, we are introduced to the same woman, Laurie, who has forgotten everything and started a new life. She has taken a house in this city where she lives with her granddaughter. Often, she meets an officer because of both like each other. In the town where she lives, the people there don't like Laurie. Often they taunt her because they believe that Laurie is responsible for all the people who are killed by Michael. Here, we also see a scared woman because she had actually become Michael's victim 4 years ago, and he had inserted a tube light into this woman's throat, but somehow she survived. Here we see a big pipe whose way goes through the main gutter, and Michael had been living there for the last 4 years. Corey was going on his bicycle from here because the police released him. The police found out that the child's death was just an accident. Corey's dad gives him an old bike as a gift because he was still riding a bicycle. Later, while going home when he was near a store, a boy along with his friends starts bothering him. They ask him to go to the store to bring alcohol for them. But when Corey refused, they start to treat him badly. They even push him and beat him, because of which his hand cuts with a glass after falling on the ground. In the meantime, Laurie also comes here. She tells them all to leave Corey and go from here, but they also misbehave with Laurie here. After that, they go inside the store. This time, Laurie gets angry. She takes out her knife and gives it to Corey, because of which he punctures the tire of people's car. Then she takes him to the hospital where her granddaughter was a nurse. Her granddaughter started liking Corey at first glance. They talk a lot. Then in the evening, they go to that dress party, where Corey was also wearing a mask, and he was enjoying it a lot. Keeping the problems of his life aside, he was very happy with Laurie's granddaughter. But at this party, he meets the mother of the child who had died. She starts insulting Corey in front of everyone. She even abuses him. And also that you are so bad that you're dancing after killing my son. You are having fun. Corey feels very bad seeing him humiliated. That's why he starts leaving the party. Although Laurie's granddaughter tries to stop him, he also leaves after taunting her. Later, the 4 friends come and stop near him and start misbehaving again. But this time, Corey also takes out his anger. He tells the rudest of them, "Your father hates you, right? Because of this, you take out your anger on weak people like me." Because of this, he gets angry, and he throws Corey down from the bridge. Seeing this, they were scared. And while thinking that he might have died, they run away from there. Then someone picks up the injured Corey and takes him to the main gutter through the pipe. This was not any other place but Michael's place. Later, when he comes into his sense, he was finding the way to go out from there. But then Michael comes here wearing a mask, who holds Corey's neck. Meanwhile, they look into each other's eyes. It seems like they could see each other inner selves. And then for some reason, Michael left Corey alive and sends him out of here. After falling down, he comes out of the gutter, where the old man, who had no one in this world, holds Corey. After being surprised, says to him that none has ever come out among those taken inside by Michael. Then how did he leave you? Anyway, after showing him a knife, he begins to send him inside again, and also says that, "Get me his mask. Now I'll become Michael." But Corey does not listen to him. He attacks him with the knife many times and goes from there, and now the old man dies. He runs straight to his house and looks himself in the mirror. Now, he is no more the old Corey. The anger and hatred in his eyes for the people of this town has now woken up after seeing into Michael's eyes. When Laurie looks out of the window, and Corey was there, who was standing just like Michael used to stand. After seeing this, she gets scared, on whom he says that, "You don't worry, I'm just here to meet your granddaughter." Then he meets her and apologizes for that party night, when he left after taunting her, after which they both go for a walk outside. Now Laurie understood that something has happened to Corey. They go to a hotel. Then the policeman comes there and starts bothering Laurie's granddaughter. After seeing this, Corey starts shouting in anger. After this, he goes and sits in his place silently, but he was staring at Corey. Now, after leaving Laurie's granddaughter at home, he begins heading toward the large pipe, and he also knew that the policeman was following him. He comes to the place near the pipe and hides. Then when the policeman comes here, he finds the dead body of the old man here. Later, Corey attacks him and goes into the pipe. The policeman had also come in behind. Then as soon as he comes in, Michael catches him. But the policeman kicks him and throws him down. Now Corey, after attacking the policeman, first hits him, and then after holding him, he tells Michael to get up. Now the question arises here. How did Michael become so weak? Actually, as he kills people, he gets strength, but he has been in this gutter for the last 4 years. That's why he didn't kill anyone, and that's why he's so weak, so that he was shivering like an old man while walking. Well, now Michael takes out his knife and repeatedly attacks the policeman's chest and kills him in his own style, which gives him a little strength. Now, Corey had also learned how Michael kills people. Then he goes straight to Laurie's granddaughter and spends the whole night with her. On the other side, we see that Michael has also come out of that place. Laurie, who was in a bar, tells her partner that, "I have felt some changes in Corey. His eyes look devilish like Michael's." The doctor comes to the nurse's house because he was going to take her with him. But when she goes to take a bath, she hears the doctor scream. When she comes down to check, then she sees Corey, who was wearing a mask. He also caught the doctor and repeatedly attacked the doctor with a knife. He was doing this to take revenge for Laurie's granddaughter, because this doctor has promoted this nurse instead of her. He was about to attack the nurse, but she closes the door and stops him outside. She immediately calls the police. Meanwhile, Corey, after putting off his mask, and keeps looking at her face. Then Michael comes from behind, who grabs the neck of the nurse. He takes her and puts her next to the wall. Then, after stabbing a knife in her chest, first, he pulls her up, and then he hangs her on the wall. Now, when Corey goes to his house, his mother says bad things about him and throws him out of the house. After this, Corey spends the night in that house, where that child died. When he wakes up in the morning, he sees Laurie in front of him, who tells her to stay away from my granddaughter. "It will be better for you, because I realize that you're no more a good man." But he clearly threatens her that if she won't be mine, then it will be terrible. After hearing this, Laurie gets very angry, and she leaves from here. After this, Corey calls Laurie's granddaughter and lies that your grandmother has threatened to kill me. That's why we will leave this town tonight. But before leaving, I want to clear my accounts with those who've made my life hell, who do wrong with me. And because it was Halloween today, that's why he first goes to Michael's place, where he fights with him, and after snatching his mask, he comes out from there. After which Michael gets up in his own style, which was clearly indicating that the killer inside him is also awake. Laurie's granddaughter starts packing her luggage to go with Corey, on which Laurie makes her understand that he is not a good person anymore. Try to understand this. His way of walking, sitting, walking, and every style has become like Michael, but she doesn't listen to her. On the other side, Corey goes to the 4 friends to take his revenge, who used to tease him, and he goes from there after putting a mask on their car. He was in the truck at the time. Then they all follow him and come to the scrapyard of his dad. His dad was also here playing a game. That's why he was unaware of what was happening outside. Corey attacks a boy's eyes outside. From this, his blood starts flowing, and he died there, and after that, he crushes a girl in his truck and kills the other with a powerful tool, and takes her life. Later, the rudest boy goes to Corey's dad and asks for the help. His dad gives him a gun and comes out after taking the other gun with him. He is surprised to see his son Corey in Michael's clothes and masks. The last boy attacks Corey. His dad comes in front of him to save him, but he dies because of being hit by a bullet. Now, Corey catches that boy and puts a welding machine in his mouth. He turns it on, and leaves him like that, and he terribly died. After that, Corey sits in the truck and goes to his house. He comes to the kitchen and takes a knife. His mother, who used to tease him all the time, he attacks her and kills her. After that, he goes to the rude music player, where first he kills his partner. And then to take out his anger, he beats him a lot, and then cuts his tongue, and hits the music tape on the table. As a result, now the songs play on with pauses, after imparting a lesson to all of them. Later, Corey had to take revenge on only one person, that was Laurie. There, Laurie's granddaughter was waiting for him at Corey's place, but he does not come himself, nor there was any information about him. Laurie was quite sad because of her granddaughter's separation, because she turns against her. Then she has an idea. She calls the police and tells them that someone has taken his life at my house, and he is wearing a mask. Then she takes out her gun, and after putting it on her head, she tries to take her life. Immediately after that, we could only hear the sounds of bullets. Now Corey was near the house, so hearing the sound of the bullet, he comes inside the house soon. Then we come to know that Laurie was just pretending to bring him inside the house. She shoots him twice, so that he does not die but falls down. Meanwhile, his granddaughter had also returned home, and obviously Corey's secret was about to be revealed, but he was very clever. He puts the knife in his own neck, and when her granddaughter comes inside, she thinks that Laurie killed Corey with a knife, because the knife was also in her hand. See, she cries a lot after seeing this, and then she leaves. Now, Laurie was also sad, and later she hears someone's footstep sounds. It was no one else but Michael, who came to get his mask back. He first wears his mask, and then Corey, who was still alive, he kills him finally, because he fought with him and brought his mask. And now it was Laurie's turn. He goes straight and attacks her. In return, she also attacks him, and their fight goes on for a while, but then suddenly Michael catches Laurie, and he was just going to kill her, but then she takes off his mask. Now, when Michael was repairing his mask, Laurie takes advantage of this and puts his knife in his hand, because of which he gets stuck on the table. Then she picks up another knife and puts it in Michael's other hand, and she also hangs it with the table, and she throws her fridge on him because he was completely stuck there. Laurie takes off his mask so we can see his terrible and ugly face. She tells Michael, "I thought you would be a little cute, but you are an ugly, old, and crazy person." After saying this, she cuts his throat, but in the meantime, Michael frees his hand and holds Laurie's hand, because of which she was going to die too. Meanwhile, his granddaughter comes back and attacks Michael and breaks his hand, because of which his grandmother is free. Then she takes the sharp knife and cuts all his nerves. And although he was the killer and powerful, but he was a human being. Because of excessive bleeding, he died. Then Laurie's officer and the rest of the policemen come. Laurie's granddaughter says that Michael died, but not completely. Now there is something else to do, after which they tie Michael's dead body to their car, and they take out a rally by taking Michael's dead body with all the police cars, in order to remove all of his anxiety and fear from the residents' minds. Now, after doing this, they bring him at the scrapyard shop of Corey's dad. All the people of town have come after him, and there was a crowd here. Everyone takes Michael's dead body to the grinder machine. When her granddaughter turns on the machine, Laurie puts his dead body in the machine. Because of this, his body turns into thousands of pieces. And now finally, Michael's game is over. After this, everything was normal. All the people of town have stopped being afraid. Laurie's granddaughter also apologizes to her, and they both happily start living their lives. Laurie was talking with her officer. Now we are shown that Michael's mask is still in Laurie's house, and with this movie ends here.